This is QTV News and I am Momudu Kajaga. We are coming to you live from our studios on Caraba Avenue. Thank you for joining us. And now first we look at the main news headlines. The Minister for Transport, Works and Infrastructure, Ibrahim Asila, on Monday visited government infrastructural project sites in Banjul as part of his nationwide familiarization tour. The Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education, in partnership with the African Curriculum Association, UNESCO, and partners, is hosting the 3rd African Continental Conference on Curriculum. A team from the West African College of Surgeons visited the Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital on Monday to re-accredit training programs in the Department of Surgery for specialist doctors. The Gambia Immigration Department, in partnership with the Suitin Institute of Technology, on Monday commenced a 6-month cybersecurity IT program for immigration officers. And in international news, Senegal's President Macky Sall, at a joint press conference with visiting German Chancellor, said he will visit Moscow and Kiev in the coming weeks in his capacity as chairman of the African Union. Those were the main news headlines, and now the news in detail. Welcome and thank you very much if you're just joining us. This is QTV News. The Minister for Transport, Works and Infrastructure, Ibrahim Asila, visited project sites in Banjul on Monday as part of a 6-day nationwide familiarization tour to all government project sites. Ansumane Sonyasi tells us more.
This familiarization tour is to bring the minister up to speed with the state and progress of all government ongoing infrastructural projects, beginning at former President Sir Dawda Kairaba Jawara's mausoleum at the National Assembly. The Minister for Transport, Works and Infrastructure, Ibrahim Asila, first paid tribute and prayed for the late ex-president, an icon who led Gambia's struggle for self-rule, and served as head of state for over 3 decades before he was overthrown in a military coup in 1994. The minister, accompanied by senior officials of the ministry, was taken on a tour of the facility and engaged project coordinators to gather first-hand information on the progress of works. The contractor said work on the project was initially billed to complete in 13 months. However, they expect to complete in 15 months, meaning it will be ready by September this year. Once completed, this mausoleum, being constructed to the tune of $25 million, is intended to honor the late Gambian president, while allowing visitors and tourists to visit and pay their respect, as well as learn about the life he lived and include significant items from his past. From the Sir Dawda Mausoleum, the minister also visited some of the road construction sites within the city, where he interacted with residents, some of whom came out to express gratitude to government for its efforts to transform the city by overhauling its dilapidated road infrastructure. Day 1 of the tour ended with a visit to the Gambia Ports Authority, where the minister and his delegation were received by the managing director, Usman Jobate, who led the team on a tour of all units at the ports, including ferries, the Banjul Shipyard and Fisheries Jetty, and several department heads briefed the minister on the situation in their units. Promising to work with all stakeholders to help address their concerns, the minister also encouraged the staff. He was then led to this impressive-looking private shipping company owned by Hadim Gai, overseeing the offloading of transit containers. GPA officials say Hadim's company have been valuable in helping decongest the port. Speaking to journalists, Minister Ibrahim Asila says while he is impressed with the state of ongoing work, there is still room for improvement and call on Gambians to unite and take ownership of the projects.
We have seen a lot of new construction work going on in Banjul. This tells a lot that the city is being revived now. People have shown renewed interest in their own city. Banjul is our only capital city that we have, and we will continue as a government to show interest in its continuous rehabilitation and infrastructure works.
Usman Jobate, GPS Managing Director, thanked Minister Silla for visiting the ports and reiterated the GPS commitment to delivering quality services for all.
We're in an international game. The port is not for Banjul. The port is an international port. It's a gateway. And if we are surrounded by neighbors who have stepped up their game, it just makes natural sense that we also transform our institutions by increasing the capacity and also reforming our systems in terms of the way we do our work, so that we can enhance the competitive advantage that Banjul has in the past enjoyed.
The minister is expected to visit project sites in the Kanifing municipality and West Coast region on Tuesday before moving to other parts of the country. Answane Sonyasi for KTV News.
The Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education, MOPSI, in partnership with the African Curriculum Association, UNESCO International Bureau of Education, and partners, is hosting the 3rd African Continental Conference on Curriculum. Omar P. Jallo attended the opening, and this is his report.
Mamadou Dieng, the Director of Curriculum, Research, Evaluation and Development Directorate at MOPSI, said the conference is an opportunity for participants to share experiences and expertise on how to make curriculum content more relevant and responsive to the development challenges of the world in general and Africa in particular.
Therefore, the theme for this conference, that is education, technology and curriculum alignment, I believe we require a paradigm shift in terms of the pedagogy that we apply in schools, in terms of the way we design and conduct examination and assessment, as well as the way we monitor and follow up on learning outcomes.
The chairperson of the African Curriculum Association, Dr. Grace Baguma, said the Continental Strategy for Africa advocates for increasing access to quality and relevant education and learning, adding that quality education is at the center of the 2030 agenda for sustainable development.
When we suffered the COVID-19 pandemic for 2 years and children were not going to school, things were not happening. And that was a big wake-up call for us to rethink and see how technology can be an intervention that leads us to achieving our education expectations.
The director of the UNESCO International Bureau of Education, Dr. Yao Ayo, believed the quest for lasting solutions to education problems in Africa requires that practitioners dialogue and come up with strategies to address the challenges in a holistic way. The Secretary General of the African Curriculum Association, Dr. Gatrus Namobiru, said the 3rd African Continental Conference on Curriculum is conceived to reflect on the possible mismatch between the intended, the implemented and the achieved curriculum. The Executive Secretary General of the Organization of Educational Cooperation, Sheikh Mansour bin Musalam, is hopeful that the discussion from the conference will lead to recommendations on how Africa can make progress towards holistic, quality curricula and education using hybrid modes. This, he said, will require many countries to redesign their national curricula to prepare young people for critically addressing current and coming challenges. Delivering the opening statement, the Minister of Basic and Secondary Education, Claudiana A. Cole, challenged participants to discuss and find solutions to the challenges in the education sector. She is also looking forward to seeing how curriculum, teacher training and learning sessions, and other related processes are to be aligned.
To this end, therefore, it will be necessary to show how Africa can make progress towards quality curricula and learning using both conventional and technological modes to prepare young people to address the current and emerging challenges.
The theme for the 3rd African Continental Curriculum Conference centers on challenges such as technological advances, climate change, youth unemployment, migration, extremism, and violent conflicts and the COVID-19 pandemic, to look at educational technology and curriculum alignment in the new era. Reporting for QTV News, I am Omar P. Jallo.
A team from the West African College of Surgeons visited the Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital on Monday to re-accredit training programs in the Department of Surgery for some specialist doctors. Over the years, the training program at the EFSTH by the West African College of Surgeons has helped produce locally trained specialist doctors in surgery. Mamadou Lamin Choi has the rest of the story.
The Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital has become a center of training for homegrown specialist doctors in surgery, thanks to its ongoing training program facilitated by the West African College of Surgeons. The college is a professional organization that promotes education, training, examination and research in surgery. A delegation from the college led by its past president, Professor King David Turner Yawi, visit the hospital to re-accredit the hospital's training program in general surgery.
We are here to review the facilities, both the physical and the training facilities, and re-accredit the institution for training of specialists who will be certified in various ways outside the Gambia, and then they will be able to practice anywhere in the world.
The West African College of Surgeons are embarking on their third visit, the last being 2019, when the teaching hospital was accredited with 2 trainees. This time around, the number has increased to 10 candidates. Professor Yankuba Kasama is the coordinator of the training program at the Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital.
These are people who really, I must say, have dropped from the sky for us, so that they work with us and help us maintain standards that we deserve in this country, so that we really develop our specialist manpower needs in this country. And this is exactly what we lack most, specialist manpower.
Professor Nyan, the Chief Medical Director of the Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital, thanks the West African College of Surgeons for their intervention in boosting the capacity of Gambia's health sector through specialist training programs.
To the colleges, marvelous. The West African Colleges of Surgeons and the other division, the other side, the West African College of Physicians, have been marvelous in supporting our development in terms of really making room for the programs, for the trainings.
Dr. Lamin Jaite, a consultant, is a general surgeon at the Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital and the deputy head of the surgery department. Dr. Jadet tells us about the benefits for our health system of the general surgery training program.
During this training program, you would have specialists, meaning surgeons who would be coming from abroad in order to come and help with this training. You have Gambian specialists, but you also have specialists from outside who are coming in to join the training. So whilst they're training these doctors to become specialist surgeons, they're also offering services within the hospital.
The process of re-accreditation for the Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital will assess the hospital's human and material capacity to determine its potential to continue carrying out the surgery training program. If it falls short in these areas, the hospital will not get re-accredited by the West African College of Surgeons. Where there are existing gaps, the team will recommend improvements. Mohamed Lamin Choi, QTV News.
Now we will take a short commercial break and we will be back before you just even finish making your tea. Do stay tuned.
Premeditated to tarnish the government's image.
The process was fair and transparent.
Did you refuse to take on board? It has been rubbish at some quarters. It has been used as a weapon at some quarters.
What are the steps that you take? It's lack of implementation. There must be a provision in there dealing with emergency procurement. It wasn't an emergency, essentially. That's what the report said. How come you advise them to close the account and it's still open?
Who are those responsible?
So you need the authority of the National Assembly to publish. There was no money in the cover, but the books will tell you there is so much amount. Are you politically active? Where do you get your funding? Would you say that you've got security of tenure? You know, in Africa, there is a general lack of accountability in almost all sectors.
Have you ever involved the police? 600 million plus.
Who opened the account? It was opened outside the normal system of accountability.
State of Affairs, airing tonight at 9 p.m. on QTV.
The Gambia's Goods Market is back again for 2022 season of remarkable variety of locally sourced products by young, innovative Gambian entrepreneurs in fashion, accessories, handicraft, health and beauty, and agro-processed and local foods. To see innovative and creativity at work, visit the Gambia's Goods Market every first Saturday of every month at the GT Bank Senegambia branch premises, starting from April 2022 to August 2022 from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. to own any number of quality and standard products at reasonable prices. This year's monthly market will highlight an additional display of skills and raw talent, providing entertainment and demonstrative art, featuring cultural and modern dances, drumming, hairdressing, photography display, as well as live mind-blowing paintings. We are proud of this entrepreneurship revolution in the Gambia. This is powered by the Gambia Youth Chamber of Commerce and the Youth Empowerment Project. Yep.
Welcome back, and thank you very much if you're just joining us. This is QTV News. The Gambia Immigration Department, in partnership with the Suitin Institute of Technology, on Monday commenced a 6-month cybersecurity IT program for 30 immigration officers. Loli M. Camara has more.
The 30 GID officers, men and women, are selected from the different units of department and from across the country. The 6 months intensive training will enhance their capacity in computer networking, cybersecurity, web development, and computer fundamentals, amongst other things. At the opening ceremony, Commissioner Usman Lowe said it is yet another milestone in the history of the Immigration Department. According to him, there is an ongoing rapid transformation, and most of their work directly deals with information technology. So having these officers trained in different applications of computer and IT-related skills will help boost their capacity and strengthen and improve their standard of work.
When I joined the Immigration Department, I know some of you will be surprised to know the number of years I served. I will be clicking 28 years in this job. IT was never on the table. It was purely manual. And alhamdulillah, today, if you come all right up to this stage and we have junior officers enrolled in IT programs like this one, I think it's a blessing. It's a very big blessing. Like the DG will always emphasize, the sky is the limit.
Suleiman Kamara, Chairman and CEO of Suitin Institute of Technology, underscored the importance of IT in our daily activities and commended the Gambia Immigration Department for the partnership.
Now you can see 90-something% of people can work from home. With the IT people, sometimes I go to office to look at my servers, my switches, my routers. Some devices might go down. I go there and install it. I came here. Last year I was able to do 3 months work here. Every dialogue on conference. So we can create a smart city for this country, my sister. A smart city. You can go to office twice a week. The rest of the 3 days you spend with the family at home and work. You can take your children to school. You understand? And this will save us enormous amount of money and resources.
Ami Ganes Kebe, the administration officer at the Gambia Immigration Department, said this training will have a great positive impact on her work and encourage her colleagues to make the best use of the opportunity and put the knowledge gained into action in their work. For QTV News, Loli M. Camara.
Many individuals and businesses do not take out insurance for various reasons. As part of efforts to address this, the Insurance Association of the Gambia, IAG, today starts its annual week-long sensitization campaign to further increase the public's understanding of insurance and insurance policies to build a trusting relationship between insurance providers and the public. Omar Pijalo has the rest of that story.
There are many instances where, following a disaster, one hears someone say, "I did not take out an insurance policy." On this channel, almost weekly, we feature fire disasters where it emerged the homeowners or tenants were not insured. This week-long sensitization campaign, part of changing the situation, began with a sponsor work from the Westfield Monument to Churchillstown Jar Oil Fuel Station, through Serekunda Market and back to Westfield, where statements were delivered by various insurance industry personnel. As part of the IAG's information, education and clarification program that seeks to increase public awareness about the progress and benefits of the Gambia insurance industry. Speaking to the press, the president of the Insurance Association of the Gambia, Makaire Bajan, said the Insurance Awareness Week seeks to draw attention to the noble profession of insurance to contribute to provide better understanding of the basic insurance by the public, improve the public's image of the industry, and develop public interest in insurance to pave way for a more insurance-responsive public.
Insurance, as everybody knows, is really very important and pivotal in the socio-economic development of the country. And of course, we provide protection, financial protection, that is to say, against a variety of situations, misfortunes that are unforeseeable. So we feel we need to really just sensitize people at all times.
The Secretary General of the Insurance Association of the Gambia, Molifa Sane, reveals that in 2020, the IAG paid over $98 million in insurance claims and over $115 million in 2021. Sane adds that the campaign served as a platform for the public to engage insurance practitioners in a consultative forum to clear up any misconception about insurance or insurance policies.
Of course, there are challenges. As we speak, we have so many things, in the pipeline that we are pushing so that we can be independent. That's the key. Because if you go to our sister countries like Ghana and Nigeria, they are autonomous. They are independent, insurance. Here, it's in the process, but still now we are on the Central Bank of the Gambia.
Mamadou M. Diouf, the managing director of West Africa Takaful, said the Awareness Week focused attention on creating improved public relations and offers the public the opportunity to be part of the educational activities from dynamic lectures and presentations on various issues about insurance.
Successful economies must be backed by a successful insurance industry, as insurance is the only business that guarantees all other businesses that in times of difficulties, we give them the necessary support to continue.
On Thursday, the association will organize a lecture on the theme, The Future of Insurance in the Gambia, Perspective of the Regulators, Brokers and Insurers, to discuss the association's achievements and challenges over the previous years and chart a new way forward. Following the fire that devastated Bass's mini market in February 2020, it subsequently emerged that only 1 out of the 100 stallholders had an insurance policy. Insurance Awareness Week should help change the attitude that allowed that to happen. Reporting for QTV News, I am Omar P. Jallo.
Now let's look at international news. In international news, Senegal's President Macky Sall said he will visit Moscow and Kiev in the coming weeks in his capacity as chairman of the African Union. Sall made these remarks at a joint press conference with visiting German Chancellor Olaf Scholz.
Sall said he has received a mandate from the African Union to undertake the trip, for which Russia had extended an invitation. The Union wanted to see de-escalation in Ukraine and peace through dialogue between the two countries. The German Chancellor's trip is focused on the geopolitical consequences of the war in Ukraine. The German Chancellor is on a 3-country tour of Africa and has also visited South Africa and Niger. One of the main motivations is that Germany is interested in new sources of energy to reduce its heavy reliance on Russia for gas following the Kremlin's invasion of Ukraine. Russia's invasion of Ukraine has hit African economies hard due to rising cereal prices and fuel shortages. However, Africa is divided over the matter. In early March, Senegal abstained from voting on a United Nations resolution which was adopted calling on Russia to withdraw from Ukraine. A few weeks later, it voted in favor of another resolution demanding Russia halt the war. Nearly half of African nations abstained or did not vote in the 2 resolution votes. Senegal has billions of cubic meters of gas reserves along its border with Mauritania and is expected to become a major gas producer in the region. The project is being led by BP and the first barrels are expected next year. The trip marks Germany's Scholz's first visit to Africa since becoming Chancellor nearly 6 months ago. Senegal and South Africa have been invited to attend the Group of 7 summit in Germany at the end of next month. For QTV News, I am Churchill Balle.
Well, we've completely run out of time, and that's it for QTV News tonight. And join us again at 10 for another bulletin.